The easiest way to build a $1 million online course. And let me tell you, AI has changed the game. Hey, I'm Sarah Turner. I'm an 8-figure business owner. I've generated over $25 million in sales personally with online courses. And I've also helped my clients generate millions of dollars in sales with their digital products and online courses. I have been in the digital marketing game for over 12 years, which is just bananas. I've also been hired as a consultant by Meta, and my business was named number 24 in education on the Inc. 5000 list for the impact it was having. But most importantly, my students are thriving. The stuff I teach actually works. And quite frankly, I wish more course creators were focusing on their students' successes, because that is how you build a thriving business. Now, I don't say any of that to brag. I just say it so that you quickly know that I might know a thing or two about what I'm talking about. In fact, only 2% of all businesses ever get to the level that my business has gotten to, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. Now, you've probably seen how people are constantly talking about how you can make great money with online courses, but it probably feels a little mysterious. How does it work? What does it look like? Is it even really possible? And I'm here to tell you that it absolutely is. In my first year as a course creator, I made over $1 million in sales, and I started with zero audience. Now, here's the thing. AI has changed the game forever. However, if you've been keeping up, you know that the output is only as good as the input when it comes to AI. Right now, most AI tools are spitting out tons of generic information, but it has made everything so much faster, but you need to be careful about what AI tools you're actually using. You want to make sure you're using an AI tool that has been informed by an actual expert, which is why I'm so excited to share with you how you can create a $1 million program using AI and shortcut the amount of time it takes so quickly. When I started my program back in the day, I had to do everything myself. It took months of work. But now you have access to something that is going to literally slash the time it takes you to get up and running by up to 80%. And I am not exaggerating. Anyone who has worked with me knows I am not the kind of person who exaggerates for fluff. And so I really mean it when I say this is absolutely changing the game. It's making it more accessible to more people. And I'm so excited about that because the people I love to work with are truly experts in their field. And so they have their own zone of genius. They don't have time to master marketing in order to become a successful course creator. But you don't have to do that anymore. So today, I'm going to show you the easiest path I know and the exact system that I'm using to help my students earn their first $1 million. So if you have an online course idea, or maybe you already have an offer that you've started putting together, but it's just not getting the traction that you want to see, then I'm about to show you something that's going to change everything. In fact, one of my favorite stories is recently I had a student who created her course before this AI tool, and she went the wrong direction. She realized that her first ICA didn't actually have the emotional bandwidth in order to take an online program. So she spent a year and a half building to the wrong audience, only to find out she needed to shift gears. So when she used my tool, she saw that it was actually going to catch this and point her down the right path. Again, because it's informed by my knowledge and expertise, over a decade's worth of knowledge and expertise. So it caught it and it helped her shift gears. She couldn't believe how this tool would have saved her a year and a half of heartache. Don't let this be you. Don't get left behind in today's world, and definitely make sure that you are using high quality tools, because there is a lot of generic stuff out there. I keep joking that the AI world is the wild, wild west, and you want to make sure you work with something that you really trust, because if you don't know any better, you might think the output that you're getting from the AI you're using is good, when in reality, it might not be. We're starting to see how a lot of people are getting into trouble with this in the AI world. Okay, let's dig in, shall we? So this is my AI tool. We lovingly refer to her as Josie. And what is so powerful about this tool is that not only does it walk you through each step of the process that you need to have in order to have a successful and thriving online education business, but it also learns everything about you, your ICA, and your offer. So let's go ahead and show you exactly how we can put together an offer that will, get you to your first $1 million. So as you can see, when you jump into the profile, it is extremely thorough. This is something that you're going to work on. And it doesn't matter if you already have it, if you don't already have it, you're going to start to fill this out. And as you do, the tool will get to know you and your ICA, and it will make everything so much easier and faster because you will not have to constantly remind it or prompt it. And if you don't know how to figure out something like demographics and key traits, pain points and desires, there is a link for each one that will show you how to figure that out. There's a lesson for context, and then the actual AI tool will walk you through figuring it out for you. Then you go ahead and you add it to your profile, and it will know this moving forward for everything else. So as you can see, we got our student identity and business clarity. This is something that's also really important, and I feel like is missing from a lot of conversations in the digital product space, and that is making sure that you create a program that fits your life. Because I did not become an entrepreneur to work 60 hours a week. I became an entrepreneur to have my business match different seasons of life. For example, I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old right now. And so I've shifted my work schedule so that I'm only working between 2 to 4 hours a day so I can spend a lot of time with my babies. So that is also incorporated in here, which is important because when you create your offer, you want to make sure that it's something that supports your life, right? And then we jump down, obviously, like I said, to the ICA and everything you need to know in order to have clarity. Next, we've got pricing strategies, revenue targets, money mindset, objections. My program even helps you with mindset, which is essential because if you are not clear about your limiting beliefs, you will self-sabotage. I'd say it's one of the most important and exciting things about being an entrepreneur is the mindset work, because when you're working for yourself, you get to actually take the best hours of your day and work on you. And that has a ripple effect, not just in your business, but in your personal life. People who still have 9-to-5s, they are exhausted at the end of the day and barely have time to spend with their family, and definitely have very little time to spend on themselves and improving themselves. Next, we have everything you need to think about when you're creating an offer. Offer structure, delivery methods, offer transformation statement, lead magnet details, course outline, and then we go into the content and marketing strategy, key brand stories and themes, preferred content channels, email funnel overview, customer journey mapping, and newsletter strategy. And one of my favorite things about this tool is it will actually extract stories from your personal life and integrate it into all your marketing materials. This is something that took me years of practice as a copywriter, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do in your business because it's what differentiates you, and also it's what allows you to connect with certain people. I like to say that good marketing is world building because when you create an online course, and this is in my student testimonials, be sure to check those out, especially Becky and Audrey, you'll hear how when you have excellent marketing, it's world building. You start to attract people who you would be friends with in real life. And that makes it so much more meaningful. And I am all about creating online courses and programs for the purpose and the meaning that it gives us, because money is only motivating to a point. In fact, all the conversation around how online programs are passive income has really flooded the market with people who are just looking to get rich quick. And again, I really like to work with people who have a passion, an experience, or an expertise that they are bringing into the world to improve the lives of others. It's so important to me, and that's why I attract people like you. As you'll see, you'll start to fill this out, and this is the actual process from beginning to end. It will take you through everything you need, from getting your mind right, to sharpening your vision, to standing out online, to actually outlining, to creating it, to growing your tribe with list building strategies and audience building strategies. Facebook and Instagram ads are even in here. Again, I was hired by Meta because they saw how well my business was doing and how well my clients were doing, because I also helped many of my clients with Facebook ads. So they did a case study on me and they hired me. This is one area that is an absolute strength of mine, and you will find exactly how to go through that in this program. We also have a really impactful curriculum and community building module, and this is something that I think, again, a lot of course creators really drop the ball on. If you do not incorporate some sort of learning theory and making sure your program is actually going to deliver on the transformation that it promises, you are not going to be setting yourself up for success, because the main thing that sets apart businesses that have one really exciting launch and ones that have been in business for 4, 5, 6, 7 years is the fact that it actually delivers on its promise. That is huge. So I want to make sure that you don't create something and then have a bunch of angry customers. And this is how you're going to do that. And then, of course, we have the funnel vision where we go ahead and map out your entire funnel.
So as you can see, there's a ton of support here, but let's go ahead and just do a quick taste, a quick sample of an online course idea. So let's say I don't know exactly who my ICA is and I want to figure it out. So I'm going to go on my profile here and I'm going to click on where I can get help. It's going to pop me over to the correct area. So now this is going to help me figure out my ICA. Another tip I have for you is to use the dictation shortcut on your computer. Now that will be specific to your computer, and a quick Google search will help you figure out how to do that, but almost all computers have this tool. I'm a Mac user, so for me, I just have to hit Control twice and it will pop up and I can have a conversation with the AI tool. And you'll notice I don't have to say things perfectly. There can even be spelling and grammar mistakes and it still understands what I'm trying to say. Now, again, I'm going to make up a fictitious course based on a student of mine. Now, most people who come to work with me already have some idea of what they want to teach on. Again, that's because I prefer to work with people who already have a passion, something that they want to bring into the world to make it a better place. So, jumping into this tool, you should have some idea. More often than not, somebody who is a service provider has one-to-one services and they want to digitize it into something that's more scalable so that they can achieve financial freedom and time autonomy. That's a really common transition. Or maybe you have something that you went through yourself and you know that you gathered so many important resources and you want to put it together and share it with the world so that they don't have to go through the heartache or the time that it took you to figure this thing out. That's also a common person. So for example, this student already has been coaching on this area, but she wanted to put it into an online course so she could reach more people and also create more time autonomy and financial freedom for herself. I have a program that's about emotional coaching for little kids. It's gentle, it's research backed, and it helps my child understand how to regulate their emotions without timeouts or yelling, but also without giving in and being too permissive. I've been coaching individuals for over a year on this subject, and they are often moms in their mid-30s who have professions, so they're stretched really thin. Oftentimes they work in the healthcare system or, really any sort of professional. But they have kids that are generally 5 years old and under, and they're really struggling to deal with toddler meltdowns, feeling guilty after raising their voice, worried that the child is too sensitive, but she doesn't want to punish, but she doesn't want to be too permissive, and figuring out what is that appropriate line. And look at this. So it goes ahead and puts together the core ICA characteristics and it nails it. But it's going to help me get more clear and refine it, which is essential in an area that a lot of people really struggle with. I think that's a good starting point. So I'm going to go ahead and say that just so I'm not giving it too much information. I want to see how much it can really help me. Biggest challenges and pain points: feeling guilty, worrying their child's too sensitive, uncertainty about finding the right balance. So outline what I said. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it, can you help me think of more challenges or pain points? Wow. And look at that. It went ahead and gave me so many: lack of time, feeling isolated. Oh my gosh, can't believe I forgot that one. Fear of judgment, confusion over parenting advice, desire for connection, managing their own emotions, and concerns about childhood development. Wow. So as you can see, these are super powerful and helpful at getting me to that next level. These are fantastic. What's next? As you can see, the tool is asking me questions to help me do an even deeper dive. For the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and ask it to wrap it up and come up with a transformation statement for me so I can add it to my profile and then move to the outlining the program and actually coming up with pricing so I can start to get excited about what this might look like for me in how I can make that first $1 million. This seems great. I want to pause here. Could you give me a summary to add to my profile? Remember, it's always okay to say, I don't know, or you help me with this, because it's always going to ask you to see if it can gather as much information as possible from you first. So now we're going to look at how to position your irresistible offer, as I like to call it. By the end of my program, my students will feel more connected with their toddler, like they're having less meltdowns, and they are more confidently and consistently parenting. Now it's asking me some really important details about constraints they have. Because most of them are working moms, they're very busy and stretched on time. So I need to structure it in a way that they can take it in bite-sized pieces and do it on their own time. And I think that covers everything. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask it to create the actual structure. Again, for the sake of time, I'm going to not answer all of these questions, but as you can see, it's trying to help me get very, very clear on some very important differentiating factors for my program. These are good questions, but could you help me figure out the outline for my program? And wow, look at this. So, as we can see, the course outline, and it's just to get you thinking, right? This is obviously where you're going to fill in with your expertise, but having an outline and something to get started with rather than staring at a blank piece of paper is game changing. So, as you can see, it's outlined a really great path for me. Understanding toddler behavior, effective parenting strategies, self-care, practical application, reflection, and growth. I'm going to go ahead and just take this outline because I really like it. And I'm going to go ahead and add it into my profile. So we'll go down here into offer structure. We'll go into course outline. It'll automatically save my profile. Okay, now let's come over here into pricing our irresistible offer because now we have an actual course. And as you can see, it already knows who I am. Course related to parenting, particularly for professionals, balancing work and family life. Could you begin your specific goals? Are you considering one-time payment, subscription model, or something else? I would like to get to $1 million in sales. That's my primary goal because I want more financial stability for my family. I have been coaching in this topic. I know that my techniques work, and I feel really confident in the transformation that I can give my students. I now want to have more scalable income. So now it's getting me to think about how can we break down this $1 million mark? Maybe I'm going to start with $500. I'm really unsure of how to price this, but maybe a course that's $500. So as you can see, it's recommending 2,000 courses at $500 each. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this and put this over in the pricing strategy. And now we're going to come down to the marketing aspect and map out an initial funnel. Again, as you can see, I am using less than 10% of what is actually in here. This whole process is going to give you a much deeper dive into how to really break this down, differentiate yourself, position yourself better, and everything that you need to be successful as an online course creator, because these are the things in my 12 years of experience that people miss the most. And I get it. It's because you don't have time to be a marketing expert, but you don't have to do that anymore. With this AI tool, you have a marketing expert in your back pocket who is going to help you make sure that you have everything you need in place to create, position, and put out into the world an online course that truly has an impact, that actually delivers on its transformation, and that is set up so that you can earn great money. So most of the people who come to work with me do not have a strength in marketing. And that is really where this tool is going to help you shine, especially after you've already created an offer. In fact, if you already have an online course, this is going to help you with every element of your business as well. That's the incredible thing. It can help you with outlining YouTube videos. It can help you with top of funnel strategies. It can help you with creating newsletters for your email list, infusing stories into your marketing materials, you name it. So you no longer also need to be a marketing expert in order to put your program out into the world. And that is the main game changer in AI. And one of the reasons I created this tool for people like you, because you don't have time to become also a marketing expert. You should be working in your zone of genius, the thing that you are best at. And that is where I come in. So with that in mind, I'm going to engage with the tool like I have no idea what to do in the marketing world. It's going to say, from first contact to purchase, how do you envision leads moving along your funnel? I have no idea. Marketing is not my strong suit. Could you please help me map out a funnel? And this is the thing that I really love about this tool. It's going to first have you think through the customer journey so that you can start giving it details that you know, because you already know a lot about your ICA or your ideal customer avatar. So it's going to ask you really thoughtful questions to get you thinking. How do potential customers first learn about you? Once they're aware, what piques their interest? How do you nurture their interest and create desire for your course? What is a clear call to action that encourages them to purchase your course? Now, I'm again going to pretend like I don't know a ton about marketing, but I do know about my own expertise, right? So I'm going to answer these questions. Most people find out about me on Instagram. I share parenting tips there. And once they're aware, they usually join my email list. I have been creating lead magnets and free guides that I link in my Instagram posts. Once I have them in my email, I sometimes send out emails talking about bringing on one-on-one coaching clients, but I'd like to shift that into my digital product. Now, I want to be clear. You don't have to have a huge audience for this to really work. Maybe you have an Instagram where you are sharing tips, but you don't have that many followers. That's okay. You're still helping the tool come up with how you will be bringing people into your funnel. And as you can see, it's giving me more tips. Now, again, it's going to ask me questions to gain as much information from us as necessary. But if you don't have that item or deliverable or thing already figured out yet, you can say, I don't know. So I'm going to just say something like, this is all I have so far. I would really love your help figuring out a funnel, including email sequence, layout, structure, strategy, and a few lead magnet ideas. And here we go. So it's giving me a quick sales funnel structure that I could use to start thinking about building out materials for my first launch maybe. And it's doing it with the customer journey in consideration, right? So we've got a few different lead magnet ideas. I love all of these. Landing page ideas, and then an email sequence outline. And this is just a bird's eye view, right? This goes much, much deeper everywhere else. So as you can see, in under an hour, I just got really clear on my ICA. I came up with a price point. I came up with a revenue target. I came up with an outline, and I came up with an initial funnel overview. And again, I cannot emphasize enough how this is just literally 1% of what this tool does. All of that work would have taken days, if not weeks of time without this tool. And another major benefit of this particular tool is that you are not going to have that indecisiveness. You're not going to be wondering whether or not your idea or your structure is worthwhile and something that you should move forward on. Because it is informed with my experience and expertise, it is going to help you validate that. So if you are a course creator, do not get left behind. You want to be using AI, but you want to make sure that it's informed by an actual expert and it is knowing you and your business so that you're not constantly having to reprompt it as to who you are. I have put together the best resource for course creators, and it is called Coursea Collective. It includes my proprietary AI tool. It also includes weekly calls with me because most programs give you a few weeks of support and then they peace out. But I like to stick around because I'm an in the trenches mentor and I love figuring it out with you because quite frankly, an online education business is something that's going to continue to grow and shift over time with who you are, with who your students are. And that's why when you join this community of other course creators, you're going to be surrounded by, first and foremost, some of the best marketers in the industry already. And you're going to get feedback with me every single week where you can even bring the deliverables that you've come up with from your AI tool and get an actual expert's opinion and feedback. Think of this as a digital mastermind. It is truly everything that you need for your course creation success, and I'm hoping you'll join us. There are details in the description below. And of course, please hit that thumbs up button if this was helpful for you. Please in the comments, share with me what you want to see, especially as I demo this tool and share with you just how powerful it is. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys.